SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader.
Thank you, Kim. In the news, Charles Taylor Tribunal describes his crimes as brutal and another possible rabies death in Durban. Good afternoon, I'm Asanda Matsawanyani. The Special Tribunal in the sentencing of former Liberian President Charles Taylor has described his crimes as some of the most brutal in human history. Taylor has been sentenced to 50 years in prison after being found guilty of arming Sierra Leone's Revolutionary United Front rebels during the brutal 1991 to 2001 civil war in return for blood diamonds. More than 50,000 lives were lost. The presiding judge, Richard Lusick.
The trial chamber recalls the tremendous loss of life, innocent civilians burned to death in their homes or brutally killed by maiming and torture. The amputation of limbs was a hallmark of terror and cruelty visited upon innocent civilians. For those who survived these crimes, the long-term impact on their lives is devastating.
In local headlines, the ANC says South Africans should have a thorough debate on freedom of expression because no court can solve the matter adequately. ANC spokesperson Jackson Tembu has said this at a joint media conference with the Goodman Gallery in Johannesburg, where the controversial painting of President Jacob Zuma was on display. Tembu explains.
To what extent can we take freedom of expression, including artistic expression, vis-a-vis the right to human dignity? We don't think, in our view, that debate can be correctly handled by any one part of our constitutional instruments, including the courts. We think it's a societal debate.
The controversial painting of President Zuma has been sold despite being defaced. Goodman Gallery director Lisa Esses says the German who bought the painting still wants it as it is. Esses says Brett Murray has been saddened by the whole saga around his painting. Meanwhile, the Film and Publications Board is expected to decide by the end of the week on whether the painting should be classified. On that same topic, Esses says while she welcomes today's agreement with the ANC over the painting, art galleries are neutral places where controversy features.
The important thing that I'd like to make clear is that not one person's view is more important than anyone else's. And everybody's view is respected, and that the gallery is very much a neutral space. And contemporary art, by its very nature, can be controversial. We have had many controversial exhibitions and dialogues and debates in the Goodman Gallery, and we will continue to do so.
Another person has died, possibly of rabies, at Ngonyameni near Umlazi, south of Durban. An 8-year-old boy was buried on Saturday after being bitten by a rabid dog at Bergville. 3 more people are in hospital after contracting the disease. Department of Agriculture spokesperson Jeffrey Zikali says the 50-year-old woman who died was bitten by a dog in March.
Unfortunately, she did not go to a medical doctor or a clinic, and unfortunately, because they didn't fear anything, the dog is still roaming around and is still alive in the neighborhood. Not saying that she died because of rabies. We will be doing further tests, but she was showing signs that she was suffering from rabies already.
Meanwhile, the vaccination of dogs and cats against rabies is underway in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands. Police are maintaining a strong presence at Bodrivier in the Overberg following violent service delivery protests earlier this week. 2 people were arrested for public violence. Residents are unhappy about an alleged lack of housing in the area. A meeting between community leaders and officials from the Diewaterskloof municipality has been scheduled for today.